We're live, huh? Let's start. Hey, everyone. So welcome to our inaugural Artists Connect series, starting at the premiere here in Green Bay. And, I'm here with Amelie and John of 7000 Apart, and John he's helping us with the tech right now. Again, this is very new. We're just trying it out for the first time. But I'm so glad to be here in Green Bay. My name is Allison Emm, by the way. See, I don't even have my act together enough to say that, with Wisconsin Music Ventures. And, we wanted to start doing something in Green Bay because the premiere here in Green Bay has started working with us, and they've been so kind to let us use their space here. It's a beautiful arts-based facility right in downtown Green Bay here, where they let artists and visual artists and musicians and anyone with any sort of involvement in the arts to come use the space to work out of, to progress their own careers. And John and Amelie were musicians that I was introduced to that do a lot out of here, and kind of simultaneously when I first met you, you introduced me to the premiere, and so it was just a really special way to get connected to Green Bay. We really haven't done much up here in Green Bay before, and I'm so glad to be here, so thank you. It's good to be.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah. And I want to, start talking about things happening in Green Bay besides what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Packers, have you heard about that?
Oh, everyone's heard about
Everyone's talking about that right now. What is he going to do? Is he going to play in Green Bay or not? So what is your prediction?
I wish I knew, but I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I don't even know the rules to American football. I just try to pretend that I know what's going on, but I definitely don't know.
Yeah, that's
I just know he's very popular, and that's all I know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, wow. You better not say that too loud out here in Green Bay. You don't know that, well, it's okay.
I mean, I have a good excuse not to care.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're a busy musician.
Yeah, I'm a busy musician, and I'm from Sweden. Like, I didn't grow up with it. And
yeah.
But John, it's okay.
Yeah, you're originally from Green Bay.
I don't really have an excuse, but at the same time, I've been around Green Bay a bit too long, I would say. So the Packers are kind of the only thing that's really here. So I think I got a little tired of it when I was 12 or so. So ever since
it's
then,
hard to fight for the attention. You know what I mean? As a musician in Green Bay, you have to fight with the Packers for
everything.
Yeah. So that can be a little tricky, but
and it's not just in Green Bay. I've worked with other arts organizations. They schedule their events around Packer games.
Oh yeah.
On Sundays. If you're competing with them, no matter what part of Wisconsin, it's not going to happen. Not going to work out well for you. Yeah, but and then before I get too far in, so John and Amelie have been featured on our podcast already, and I want to make sure that when we do these Artists Connect series, that we're talking about slightly different things. We have the podcast, the Musicians Venture. We have these now, and actually soon, I haven't talked about this yet publicly with anyone. But we're going to be having a guest blogger also doing features on musicians that we work with starting in June. And he's someone that a lot of people in music in Wisconsin know of. And so I'm really excited for that to start. So in all of those different platforms, we're going to be highlighting musicians that are members of Wisconsin Music Ventures in different ways. So we want to make sure that they're all done a little bit differently, though. So at this one in specific, what we want to do is I'd like to find out a little bit more, dive in a little bit more behind the music. Behind the music, wasn't that MTV or something? I don't know.
I love it.
I think so,
and then hear a little bit of the music itself live. As we're live streaming, and then just talk about your process, your songwriting a little bit, and then what you have coming up. So, but first let's talk just a little bit about what you do as 7000 Apart, and just a little bit of background about your story.
Yeah. So we met as in high school. Actually, Amelie was a foreign exchange student from Stockholm, Sweden, and so we met senior year of high school, and I was a senior, and Amelie was kind of sort of a senior, but anyway.
I mean, my year didn't count. I did senior year twice.
Yeah, but we met in music theory class, and we started talking, and then we became friends, and then we became more than friends, and then we were forced into a long distance relationship at the end of the year, and Amelie had to go home, basically, and so we spent 3 years apart when we were long distance, 7,000 kilometers apart from each other, and during that time we started 7000 Apart as just kind of a way of having something in common because like talking about lunch and like just your friends that you don't know and all that stuff gets really boring after like a week, I would say. So yeah, we recorded like covers and just videos from different countries and put them together, and it was very challenging. But after 3 years of long distance, we got married in 2016, and we've been working towards being full-time musicians ever since then. And as a month ago, we've been full-time musicians. So yeah, we're really excited.
So you took the giant leap recently.
We did,
We did.
yeah. It's terrifying, but we feel really good about it. So.
Yeah, what's it been like in the last month since you took the official leap?
It's been kind of insane because I had to go back to Sweden for a funeral and stuff in the middle of everything, and it's just been very like back and forth a lot, and we're finally now, I think this week, coming down to like, okay, this is what our day-to-day is going to look like. And we're really excited, and we have a lot on our to-do list.
Yeah. So what does your day-to-day look like now that you're both full-time musicians?
It is very, like, it's still different from every day. Like, it's not every day we have an interview in the
Right.
morning of a Wednesday, but every day is different, but we try to have some things that are, like, consistent, I guess. We have a couple we stream on this platform called YouNow, and so we try to have a couple of consistent streams on there. And then we also try to put out a YouTube video a week, and like we try to remember to like eat and stuff, you know. And we go on like our daily walk, and we try to get some exercise in. It's all about just like kind of scheduling out those little chunks of time.
It's a lot of to-do lists, I would say.
Yeah.
So like the to-do lists are, we just kind of, when we don't have something going on, we try to do everything on the to-do list, which never really gets done at all.
It's a never-ending story, but it's a good thing, and we always have something to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good. Yeah. As a working musician should, for sure. Yeah, that's great. So tell me more about the style of music that you play, and why. So I mean, or what would you classify your style as?
So for our first album that we put out, we called it organic pop because it was pop, but it was all organic instruments. And now we're moving a little bit more into the indie pop realm, a little bit more electronic, a little bit more atmosphere and stuff like that. And we're really, really excited.
Yeah, indie pop. So like, who else? Like, what are some other names that you might classify in that field?
Basically anyone, indie pop is pretty much the same exact thing as pop, except for it's unsigned artists. So any of your favorite artists who are not signed, basically. Even, it's kind of funny though, because like major labels, they actually have like indie pop sections of the label now too.
Oh, interesting.
Which is really weird because it's not indie
I would just say
pop
that
really,
like
but
indie pop lets you be a little bit more free and a little bit more experimental.
Yeah.
You can do like, 5 or 10 minute songs if you feel like. You don't have to stick completely to the radio standards.
Yeah.
You can experiment a little bit more beyond that. You can play with different sounds and different structures.
Yeah, nice. And so what kind of places would you hope that your music would be played at, or has it been played at?
I mean, we would love to tour theaters eventually. I think that's the dream. We love theaters, and we like sit-down venues where people really pay attention and listen, and we are able to tell stories and really give the songs to people and let them feel the things that we want them to feel. But I don't know, like for music, I mean, we would love to be played everywhere, obviously, eventually. We've had a couple radio placements, but not much. But we would love to, like, be played in like cute
Movies
little coffee, like movies, TV shows, coffee shops.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to just have the people listening hear one of your songs right away.
Oh yeah, let's
can
do
we
it.
try that?
Do you want to do Lovers for Life?
Let's hear some of this indie pop.
Yes. We'll do a song from our first album. No, good job.
That's good.
So this is a song from our first album. It's called Lovers for Life. It's one of crowd favorites in a way. It's one of the cute love songs.
Aww.
I should take a walk in somebody else's shoes. stop spending my days singing the blues. 'Cause loving never came easily to me. No, love rarely comes for free. So take this moment and hold on tight. You never know, I could be the love of your life. If we don't let go, we could be lovers for life. We could be lovers for life. Everything changed when we walked down these halls. Your smile across from me got me standing tall. 'Cause loving never came easily to me. No, love rarely comes for free. So take this moment and hold on tight. You never know, I could be the love of your life. If we don't let go, we could be lovers for life. We could be lovers for life. A million miles can never separate our love. It's been months, but I can still feel your touch. People want me to start over with someone new, but I can never forget you. I can never forget you. So take this moment and hold on tight. You never know, I could be the love of your life. If we don't let go, we could be lovers for life. We could be lovers for life. Ooh. 'Cause loving never came easily to me. Love rarely comes for free.
So beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. And I don't know how this is going to come off in the video, but in this room, it just sounds so amazing. And the vocal harmonies on top of each other, especially, they just keep on going.
Yeah. I think we counted, it's like a 7-second reverb in here.
It's like the same as like a cathedral,
Yeah.
basically, in this room.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, and you might be able to pick up on that
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah,
in the video.
probably.
Yeah. But oh, that's beautiful. So tell me what the inspiration was for that song.
Yeah, so that's about like how we were forced into the long distance relationship and how we decided to kind of take a chance on love, even though everyone told us, oh, long distance doesn't work. But what if it does?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what if it's actually going to work out? And for us, it did.
Yeah.
So we.
It doesn't mean it wasn't very, very hard.
No, gosh, no.
But
But if the person is right, you can get through a lot.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long were you a long distance relationship?
3 years. I
Yeah.
was gonna say 3 hours, but no, 3 years.
Yeah, well, congratulations. And you're getting through a lot. If you can do the long distance for 3 years and now through COVID. So, I mean, what a juxtaposition, like 3 years apart and then COVID, like you're stuck together in the same room and, not room, but in the same place, for the last year and a half or so, not able to go anywhere.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I mean, for us, we already before everything went down, we were together like most of the time. We had lessons and stuff that was apart, but we still were together a lot, and we could handle that because we knew what it was like to be apart, I think. So being together, we just appreciated, I think, a little bit more. And we're each other's best friend, which really helps with
Yeah.
having a business together. And we really respect each other and respect each other's space. And if one of us like gets a little annoyed or something, you know, like it's okay. You can like, we're good about like giving some distance and figuring things out. And we very rarely fight or anything. So, and if we have a disagreement, we try to figure it out very quickly. So
Yeah.
it's been good.
Yeah, I
We've-
would say like the main thing is just like our life was basically the same.
Yeah.
Like literally, except for
Shows.
and coffee shops. Like we used to go to work in coffee shops all the time. So that's like the only main difference. Like because normally we work from home anyway, unless we're doing shows. So it's pretty similar, and it's like equally as difficult during the pandemic. That's I would say like the pandemic is what being a musician is like all the time. So like it just felt the same, just new challenges.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For sure.
We miss traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. What was it like? And you were just in Sweden, I know. So how many was it? Quite a while before you were able to go there, and how often would you typically go to Sweden?
So normally we go twice a year, sometime during the summer and sometimes during the winter. And then, so we were supposed to go in June, like we usually go in June, and we had to move that, and then we moved it again. So we ended up going in October of last year. And then because we went, we were like, let's just stay for a while. So we were actually in Sweden for 3 months, October, November, December. And it was really nice to get something different for a little bit and be able to see some family and
for sure.
yeah.
Smart to stick around for a while, because who knows? Like how are they doing currently with their COVID?
When we were there, when we went there, it was really good, and then it kind of started climbing up again. But now I think they're a little bit behind us on vaccinations, but they're getting there now.
Got it. Good. And then tell me about some of your musical inspirations. Can you tell me who's influenced you over time?
I mean, so many. For me, I was really I did a lot of musical theater growing up, and then I was really into rock for a while, so like Paramore and Evanescence were huge for me. And I think that affected my singing, and I belt a lot, and I'm very loud.
Yeah,
And
I can hear the Amelie now that you say it. Yeah.
a lot of it really. And but then as I grew older, like right now, I'm really into Sarah Bareilles. I'm really into Ben Platt. I really enjoy good singers.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be that for me. But I'm fine just putting on a Spotify playlist and let whoever is on sing to me. I like being influenced by a lot of different things. I've been into like Norwegian pop lately. Don't really know why, but like that's been really cool.
Besides it being Norwegian, what makes it different?
I just really like they have it's a lot of atmosphere. It's a lot of like good singers, as I said, and
Minimal kind of.
Yeah, and it's very
production.
minimal.
Yeah, it's kind of like Swedish pop as well.
It's
I would
pretty.
say it's
pretty
very
and minimal.
Yeah, like Max Martin says, you should only have like 4 elements happening at the same time in a pop song, and it's kind of like that, I would say, in Scandinavian pop in general. But yeah.
I like that. Do you keep that in mind when you put your own music together?
I would say we try to a bit, but I would say working with the producers we kind of just have like a dialogue with them, so it's not really like something that we're like, oh, it has to have 4 elements, you know. It's more we kind of trust the producer as well to help make it that pop mentality, and so I'd say we tend to give them more than those 4 elements sometimes, and sometimes they strip it back, but sometimes it's the other way around too, so it's we then have to strip it back a bit. But yeah.
And who are some of your influences?
Yeah, my main one was Switchfoot. They were kind of like, I grew up very much in Christian music stuff, just with my family and stuff. So Switchfoot was the main one that was like different for me. Like mostly it was like classical and like church music basically before Switchfoot. But after Switchfoot, it's been lots of different things. So like I loved Owl City. I also loved like Paramore. I loved a lot of like weird things too, like I guess like 21 Pilots and stuff like that that I like really dove into, but also like Amy Winehouse and yeah, I don't know, lots of people like that too, just because I feel like I've been going through all the generations of like, or all the decades of like music.
Yeah, well,
and,
John hadn't listened to a lot of the stuff that you feel like someone should know, you know?
Yes.
He wasn't very like, what do you say?
well-rounded.
Well-rounded when it comes to
No.
music. So it's so funny. I will still like, I can turn on a song that's like super famous and I'll be like, so have you heard this one before? And he's like, nope. And I have to like educate him a little bit. That still happens, but you're getting better.
Yeah, but I used to like things that weren't very vocal centric.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting
Yeah.
for us to, we've like blended kind of the styles, I would say, a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because I could totally relate to John because I grew up in a very similar family and, you know, listening to a lot of Christian music and some of it I really still like to. Jars of Clay was one of my favorites. I don't know if you remember them, but I remember I would try and listen to like Mariah Carey and, you know, just fun pop music of that time, of that era. And my mom would be like, well, what about Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith? And she would buy me those cassettes at the time and then eventually CDs and, you know, try and incorporate it. And But yeah, there's good stuff in both areas for sure. But I also would say I was a little bit behind at first because of that. So it takes some catching up. So yeah, I'm glad you got him caught up a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah, great. And tell me about your songwriting process. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so John is the one that writes because he needs to,
Yeah.
I would say. So you usually start.
Yeah. I write a lot, but it's mostly just for myself, I would say. And we have like a document of like a lot of songs. And then after I kind of write a verse and a chorus, maybe I'll have a second verse and a bridge, but a lot of times I'll have like the main thought of a song. And if I think it's like a really good song or has potential or it doesn't I don't think it sucks, which isn't all the songs, I'll probably bring it to Amelie and then we kind of co-write together for the rest of it. And
I usually change the melody and a little bit or a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because John usually has like some kind of arrangement in mind, like chords and stuff, and but then I have to put it in my key, and then I might change it because I have a little bit bigger of a range, so I can like play with it a little bit more.
So we change it around quite a lot from the original version of the song, like that I kind of came up with, to like what we end up editing, and like then we take it to a producer, and then they also kind of sometimes might help to change things a bit. So it's kind of a
so either it's like that or we co-write with someone. And if we co-write with someone, we're both there from the beginning, and we just kind of pick a theme, and or like we will just like have coffee and just talk about something, and if someone says something cool or smart, we'll just like write that down, and we try to go deeper into whatever subject we're talking about and try to, you try to be a little deep, because that's how like good lyrics come out.
Just say random things, basically.
Pretty much, but still, and like, and you try to talk without judgment, and it turns out really well, and we really enjoy writing with others too.
Yeah. Who are some of the people that you've co-written with?
So the person we've written most with, her name is Jade, and she's in Sweden. So we've written with her like a couple times in person, and then we also wrote a song with her during the pandemic over
a video chat. We wrote a song with her.
Yeah. That was really, really fun.
How fun. Yeah, I just love that you've been able to keep so strong and like keep such a great work ethic throughout COVID. It's been, yeah. And I love that, because I've been telling you to like talk to other people to like get them like energized too, because so many people have just kind of fallen by the wayside during this time, and you've just kept up and almost built momentum. Would you say that?
I would say that with the streaming, it's really like, at least we've grown. We've grown our Instagram and everything. John didn't open the.
It's all good.
Yeah,
We're all good, people. Here, guys, I got it. Don't even worry. We're professional musicians here.
Things will happen.
You need an assistant, I feel like.
Yeah. We'll learn as we go.
Yeah. This is the first one. It's going to have a little bit of bumps. That just means that we've been streaming for 30 minutes. So.
Oh, great.
Good to know.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get an assistant for future times. But yeah, awesome. And so you were just talking about the songwriting, yeah.
Yeah, and how we've kind of built momentum during the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so because we got into streaming, we tapped into a whole new market, I would say, and we met a lot of people that we wouldn't have met if it weren't for the streaming and for the pandemic and everything. So we've made friends and fans from all over the world, and that really has helped us just, like, we got to sing and play music for people still, you know, so we didn't feel, because we were kind of crushed in the beginning, but but when we started streaming, we felt like we had a purpose with our music again, which really, really helped.
Yeah, I think it was actually quite hard because we did have a lot of momentum
Before,
and so we really weren't in a good spot to be creative. Like, a lot of artists were kind of already touring and already doing that a lot, and they were kind of ready to chill a bit and work on new stuff. And we were kind of in this spot where our whole plan was just to tour off of the last project for the entire of 2020. So to go from, like, okay, we're gonna tour now, to like, okay, should we be creative, or what should we do now? You know, it was definitely a lot of momentum that we kind of lost, but then I would say streaming really allowed us to continue to perform in a way that a lot of artists haven't done, I think, during the pandemic. And so a lot of artists, they just stopped playing music for like 6 months or something, and like, that's not really, it's really hard to get going again, you know. But we did keep going. It was just like, it's very different streaming compared to in-person shows.
Right.
So,
and you've done really, really well about keeping a schedule with your streaming, like keeping a very strict schedule. Like, you don't let things get in the way of it typically, and you know, you have your YouTube schedule and your YouNow schedule. Is there anything else that you do in this time?
I don't remember.
We have worked on TikTok. It's been a lot, like, the last few weeks, I would say, with Amelie being in Sweden, and like,
We played a wedding, and
but it, like, typically we post the similar things on TikTok and YouTube. They're kind of the same content that we post.
Yeah,
and then
and also trying to just
Instagram,
keep up with Instagram, even if it's just a
Facebook.
couple of posts a week, and just showing that we still exist.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think it's important to not be forgotten in a way too. Like, but I also think that if you've had to take a break during this time, like, that's okay. I think just for us, we needed to have a reason to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And like, even if it was like, oh, we really should post on Instagram today, even if that's the
Right.
thing that we do that day,
Yeah.
at least we did something. And for us, that was really important, to just feel like we were doing something.
And we did, like, how many streams? Probably 90 or 100 streams, I would think.
Throughout the
At
At least, yeah.
So it
something
was
like that.
just that was a lot, and we were streaming sometimes like 3 times a day for certain weeks, and we tend to stream about 3 times a week, I would say, but it depends on if we have shows and stuff too.
Yeah, and if
so.
we're doing like streams with other people and doing co-streams and hanging out, and that's been really helpful
Right.
too, and just making friends.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And have you made any relationships with people that you are going to do any songwriting with based on some of these streams?
Yeah, I mean, John, you wrote with
Yeah,
a friend, David, and you also produced a song for him.
yeah.
So that was really cool. And we also kind of wrote with some other people as well. So yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely met people that we
That's
want to write
great.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like, I think the whole process of getting into creating more content online as well has been really cool. And I mean, the fact that I was able to produce someone because I had practiced so much just creating our own content, you know,
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what is your favorite part about being a musician right now at this current time?
Ooh, I think what's really fun now that things are opening up, it just feels like people are getting hope back, and people are wanting to do stuff like this.
Yeah,
and
We're all vaccinated, by the way.
yeah.
We're fully vaccinated.
Yes. but that like things are opening up again and spring is coming, and I feel like there's like finally a little bit of like fresh air in a way, and people are wanting to meet up, and you can meet up if you're vaccinated and everything, and you can do things in person. Like we used to do a songwriters round or songwriters night here at the premiere, and we feel like it's almost time to start that up again. And it's just like those things that feel really, really exciting right now, I think. Just starting more collaborations and going out and being able to play shows outside. And
well, we built so much. We built so much before the pandemic that we had this like giant structure of like, this is how our life works, and then that was completely gone. So we had to build this new structure of how our life works, and I think it's just really cool seeing how the two of them come together, and how like, you know, those people we met on stream, like that guy in Bali, we can go and visit him like once it's safe to do so, and like in the UK we have a bunch of friends there, and so like people have been wanting us to tour in the UK, and so like there's a lot more options for us now that things are opening and the two worlds are kind of colliding, which is really cool.
And I think it's really great how you phrase it that way. You know, you had a structure, and then you got to put together a new structure, as opposed to like you had to do a new structure. You know, you've been very positive, and now you get to merge the two, and it's not like I have to put a new.
It's about how you phrase it.
Yeah, it's all about how your perspective.
Doesn't mean that it was easy.
Right. But yeah, you've been very positive about it this whole time, and that really makes or breaks, you know, a musician as you're going through. And
we try.
Yeah. I'm sure it hasn't been always, you know, as it looks. I'm sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and hear another song.
Let's do Nothing to Worry About. That's our latest single. It's more in the pop realm. And the production is very inspired by like Dua Lipa and like that kind of.
And it's produced by the producer who we're working with now on future songs. So.
And she's her name's Femke, and she's from Nashville, or she's actually not from Nashville, but she lives in Nashville, and she's Grammy winning, which is really cool. And she's one of the 2% of female producers in the world. So she's also really cool because of that.
I love this.
Yeah, she's way too cool for us, but
I don't know why she wants to work with us, but that's okay. We just keep working with her until she understands.
No, good for you. Congratulations.
Okay.
Better give it up tonight. I've said it once. This better suffice. If you really want this enough, better give it everything tonight. Not everything works out, but I really don't want to start over. Not everything's alright, but I really don't want to start over. Got nothing to worry about. We got nothing to worry about. If it were up to me, we'd love everything that we do, but the business makes it hard to do what we want to do. I've said it's wise. This better suffice. If you really want this enough, better give it everything tonight. Not everything works out, but I really don't want to start over. I really don't want to start over. Not everything's alright, but I really don't want to start over. We got nothing to worry about. Hey. We got nothing to worry about. No, we got nothing. I said no, we got nothing. Yeah. No, we got nothing. I said no, we got nothing. Well, I said no,
mean, how can you just not be in a good mood after hearing that song? An amazing
Thank
mood.
you. That's the point of that song.
Yeah, I love it. And you just look like you're having the best time in the
Oh, yeah.
world.
I
You're
was-
singing.
I was a little afraid of like the stool breaking and like
Oh.
me falling and dying, but like trying to move and be excited because I am, but I'm not trying to move too much.
Awesome. So I have a couple music nerd questions now for you. So I'm curious, what kind of key was that in?
It's in F sharp minor.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But
And-
it's basically 3 main chords. So you have F sharp minor and then E minor and then B minor 7. But they're all minor 7s.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And so you find yourself like you have a pretty good range. So like what kind of keys do you end up using?
John knows that more than I do.
We tend to go like that one's a bit too high. Like there's certain songs that we like for a while we just kind of like took whatever song we were doing and then we like put it to the top of Amelie's range.
Yeah.
And then we
Ooh.
started realizing that
That's not great if you're doing 3-hour shows.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So I would say anywhere from G major through like B flat major is what we normally do, or
Yeah.
maybe C, but kind of that range.
Yeah. Do guitar players really play in B flat?
I mean, I'm a piano player largely too, so I would say like if you do.
And we capo a lot.
We-
Okay.
yeah, we
There you go.
capo a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Like we rarely. Normally, I will write a song in open, and then
Sure.
and then we capo it up.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Or
from,
bar
from
chord
my
it.
experience, also as a keyboardist, I don't play guitar. Although one day I have it, I just need to learn it. But yeah, I remember this. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I tried working with guitarists, and I pulled out music that was in like A flat, in
Yeah.
the key of A flat, and they're like, "We don't do this." I'm like, excuse me, like, and I like
I
pretty
play
much.
a lot of bar chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On guitar. So
Okay.
that's another thing that is maybe something I should learn to do more capo stuff because again, when you play bar chords for like a few hours,
Yep.
your hands get pretty tired.
Oh,
That's the main
yeah,
reason
yeah.
guitarists are just lazy.
Yeah.
When it all comes down to it,
Yep.
yeah. Do you think even the best of the best guitarists like don't avoid certain keys and capo, or do you think they would?
I would assume so. I mean, the thing is like guitar is tuned to a certain.
Sure.
Like you're normally tuned to E standard,
Sure.
so like
You don't want to put a capo too high on the neck because then you're going to have to retune and it's not going to really sound great unless you have
yeah.
a really good guitar. So
yeah. So I mean, you're probably gonna play an E or something close to E. So
if you can choose.
if you can choose
Yeah.
as a guitar player, but otherwise you just do lead stuff and avoid like the lower
Yeah.
notes altogether.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where did you train with your voice? It sounds like you really, really have a great handle on that. Like
Yeah,
really almost classically trained in some ways. Is that true?
Kind of. So my mom is a voice teacher. And so I grew up singing a lot. I took the least amount of lessons out of all of my mom's students, pretty much. But I caught a lot when I was little. I used to sing along to the warm-ups when I was like 4 years old, from the other room. And I got to do a lot of things. And if I wanted help, my mom was always there, even though it wasn't always easy. It's not always easy to work with your mom. Like either I would cry or she
Right.
would cry. But she's always been there, and I've been around that. And then when I came here as an exchange student, I did a lot of classical singing. And so I had a classic music teacher and a singing teacher, and being in choir and stuff, that was really cool. I got to do go to state for solo ensemble, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was really fun just to explore that kind of side of my voice.
There are little things that you learn that not everything is applicable to pop music, but certain things can be.
Yeah, and for me, I have to be healthy. That's my number one thing. So that's also, I've been teaching a lot, and I've also learned a lot from teaching. And my number one thing is always stay healthy, because I got an infection in my throat.
Oh man.
That in combination with I was singing a lot because I was in musical theater school at the time. I got a swollen vocal cord, so I have a swelling on my left vocal cord. So I have to be very, very careful.
Wow.
And so I lost an octave from the top of my range, but somehow I managed to still do what we do with that swelling, but I have to be, as I said, very careful, and I teach a lot of that. But thankfully, because of my technique that I learned when I was younger and from teaching, I am able to do 4-hour shows even though I have that.
Yeah. So
But we do avoid them because partially because of that, partially just because like you can't sing and play that long necessarily and sound great the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I get the bands that have like 7-minute solos and stuff. They can handle it.
But we do 3-minute pop songs, and there's a lot of 3-minute pop songs in 4 hours. So,
4 hours is a little bit extreme.
But it happens.
It does happen.
And you just have to be careful. And,
yeah. For all the people out there listening and watching, 4-hour sets for musicians, not ideal. If you want good musicianship, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Your voice just gets a little tired. So 4 hours, you have to spread yourself out a bit. So you can't be as intense the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes good for.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, but I love singing the stuff. Like that goes up. It goes up to F sharp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like girls aren't supposed to sing F sharp all the time, you know. But it's so fun.
Well, like
I love like belting and.
For reference, for people, like a G is sung in like Skyscraper from Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
So like F sharp G is like Demi Lovato Skyscraper.
Yeah, and also Defying Gravity, if you know that song, that's also up there. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you know, and I mentioned earlier my song goddess growing up was Mariah Carey, who can like go
the whistle notes.
Oh my God.
Those were the ones I lost.
But I used to try and get there myself. And it was so much fun. Yeah, dog whistle notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But it is possible. But yeah, so was the infection from almost directly related to?
I just got sick. I don't know what it was.
wasn't
but it's I felt that it sat right here.
She got sick. You got sick.
I got sick and then I sang too much and I pushed too much.
Okay.
It was like what was it, like the concert week or something at your musical school?
Oh no, that was later, but that's when I already had the.
But it didn't help that for sure.
No.
Yeah.
But she was singing in everything basically, so it's like.
Yeah, and singers more than anyone just have to be cautious because their voice is their physical being.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And there's so much like I went through like a couple months during the pandemic. My voice was more tired than normal, and I had some issues with it, and. It's like you lose your entire identity. Yeah. It's so weird, and you just feel like, what's my purpose?
Right.
I can't sing, and so I think it's a lot more personal than playing an instrument. And obviously, like if you hurt your hands and stuff, that's awful. But most of the time, you can like fix that. But vocals are a lot more sensitive because they're tiny, itty bitty muscles. And so if you get a swelling, it's not just, you can't just go in and take care of it. You can do surgery, but it's very risky and
and just anything from air quality to temperature to,
smoke is the worst.
Oh, right, yeah. So thankfully we're at a point in time where that's less of an issue, but oh my gosh, smoke, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. And just tell me more about what you have coming up as musicians right now. What are you looking forward to?
A lot. We have a lot of shows. How many shows do we have?
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, we have 34 shows booked.
That's awesome.
Which is exciting, and we're continuing to book. We're trying to book another tour.
We're wanting to go on a Midwest tour again if we can.
Awesome.
Yeah, and aside from shows, we have a project that we're working on, but we haven't said stuff about it yet.
Nope.
So
it's still a secret.
Okay.
It's still a secret.
We'll keep that
but
in.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So shows.
Yeah, all our shows. We'll be streaming and we'll be doing shows, and we're wanting to do fun stuff for social media and just like keep at it. And now that we can focus 100% on 7000 apart, we're hoping that we can give everything a little bit of a boost.
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds good. What is the next one? What is the first in-person show that you have?
So we have a live stream / in-person show on Friday in Madison. Nice. So that's going to be really fun. And so I think it's like capacity of 20 people.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be live streamed on their Facebook page.
I think so on
Yes.
Facebook. Yeah.
Nice.
It's just it's going to be like a more original music only concert, I think. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
should be really nice, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then tell me a little bit about what you've done here at the premiere and your relationship here.
Absolutely. So we're actually on the board,
Yeah.
which is really cool. It's our first time being on a board for
Yeah.
something. I feel very grown up. And we got involved very, very quickly as soon as they got in here, pretty much, because we know Michael, who's in charge. And we were told just to use the space and to come up with things if we wanted to do things in
Yeah.
here. So we started the Songwriters Night, and that was really successful. It was really fun, just bringing a lot of songwriters together. And everyone played a song, and they could get feedback if they wanted to, or they could just play the song. And then we recorded a music video here. We're good friends with the people that have Snap Studio, which is in the other room, and they do backdrops for photo shoots.
Yeah, they have like sets that are pre-lit and everything.
So you can just bring your iPhone,
which is
and
great for us
take
for
pictures.
taking like new photos for social
Yeah.
media or
If you scroll on our
music
Instagram, it's like
videos.
90% Snap Studio,
Yeah.
because we just
Yeah.
love it so much.
Yeah.
And so we've done a lot of that, a lot of pictures, a couple of music videos.
just meetings.
We recorded, I remember we sat in this room when we recorded videos for Sweden's Got Talent, when we sent them like
That's right,
the different song suggestions that we had. And yeah,
practicing here.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've done some songwriting here.
we carried in a piano.
carried in a piano. It was very heavy.
Yeah.
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 So we made sure that there's a piano here, and
How exciting. John, it must be nice to see something like this in Green Bay after
It's-
growing up in
Yeah.
here.
It's really nice. Like we, like some of the, I think I can say this.
I love when sentences start that way.
Some of the like Packer players have actually been like coming here
yeah, been
to
involved.
take
nice.
photos at like Snap Studio or
Yeah.
like just in general because it's such a nice space and
Yeah.
I mean it's cool like when you're a kid and the only thing is the Packers in the
Yeah.
community and like you go to the Packers and then like something is created that's like culture and art based
Yeah.
and the Packers are coming
Yeah.
to that, you know, because it's like it's inspiring for them too and I think it's a very just like having a space, especially if you're younger or like you know just starting out to learn music, that's like a safe space that is super friendly and filled with lots of other creatives and people who are the same level as you, maybe further than you, so you can just grow and learn. And I think there's a ton of potential here, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see. I really hope that Green Bay just kind of grabs onto it and
Yeah.
runs with it because I
Yeah.
think it's something that's really special. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do I, and that's why I'm really excited to do these events here, and
Yeah.
you know, to continue to show it off as we can assist in that as well.
Yeah.
So thanks for introducing us to this
Yes,
place.
great.
Yeah,
It's our
and-
happy place.
Yes, exactly. And just looking around here, I don't know, maybe at the end we can like do a little pan around or something.
Oh yeah, we can do
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
there's so much development happening
Yeah, it's
right
ridiculous.
around this area where we have so many windows to see,
Yeah.
and you can just see the construction and like what is to come here in this part of downtown Green Bay. So lots to look forward to. So anything else that you'd like to add? I'm going to ask you to play one more song to close us out.
Yeah, we
I
can
think,
do that.
but
Yeah,
anything
I
else
don't
that you'd like
know
to
if there's
add?
anything else. You can check out our music,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Also, yes, tell us how to find
you.
you.
You can find us everywhere, 7000 Apart, if you just
We have-
search 7000apart.com and just like really anywhere. If you have a social media platform that you're on, we're probably on it too. 7000 Apart, no spaces, because we had enough space in our lives.
Yeah, we have some super cool merchandise for the Nothing to Worry About single. It's like from the This Is Fine meme,
Yes.
except for it's us sitting in a room with fire,
Yes.
which is pretty cool. So there's that.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, is there one more song you'd like to close out with?
Yeah, do you want to do Until I Found You? Or do you have a
White noise.
white noise?
I just figured we talked about Jade.
That's true, but also Until I Found You, I feel like I might know better.
Okay. Is your voice good?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, cool.
I want to sing loud noises.
All right.
So we're gonna do Until I Found You, which was the song that we did for Sweden's Got Talent.
Okay, awesome.
My daddy said people fall out of love too easy. He said that right before he left my mom. He said there are a million possibilities in life to try, but me getting back with her isn't one. I could scream from the mountainside till the stars fall out from the sky, scream over the oceans and still doubt that we belong together. Will I be strong enough to stand with you, strong enough to pull through the hard times, always waiting for that implosion. Didn't believe there was one person to love through all the hard times, I didn't believe until I found you. Others said that love is simple, that loving isn't hard to do at all. She said there's only one possibility when you found the rainbow. Don't let go of holding on. Will I be strong enough to stand with you, strong enough to pull through the hard times, always waiting for that implosion. Didn't believe there was one person to love through all the hard times, I didn't believe until I found you. It's been 7 years since the day I met you. I'm still as happy as the first time I heard your name. It's been through so many things that I've lost track. 'Cause loving you makes the hard times go away. Will I be strong enough to stand with you, strong enough to pull through the hard times, I didn't believe I'll be strong enough to stand with you, strong enough to pull through the hard times, knowing there won't be an implosion. Now I know there is one person free to love through all the hard times, but I didn't believe until I found you. Until I found you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I just
so much.
love your harmony layers and how well they fit together. Of course they do, because you've been doing this forever. So yeah, amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So John Kresin and Amelie Eiding. Did I say your last name correctly?
Kresin, but close enough.
We both
I was
have-
right, but my name was right, but John Kresin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both have really weird last names.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I've never. Okay, I guess I've never asked you about that before.
Yeah.
Let me
That's so
say
good.
that again. John Christine and Amelie Eiding.
There you go.
We'll edit that out. No, I don't think I can do that, but okay.
We're live. It's okay.
It's okay.
No big deal. So great to have you here today.
Thank
you so
much
Thank
for
you
having
for
us.
everything. It's
Yeah.
always great to work with you and to see you and to hear you. So
Thank you so much.
have a good one.
We'll have John go turn it on. Bye.
Bye.
Did we do it?